Breaking news, the NFL has informed its owners that they are going to have a substantial hike, a big rise in cap space. And this is obviously big for a team like the San Francisco 49ers, who has a lot of players to sign, big time contracts. So this is good news. So according to Dan Graziano, the cap is expected to jump up 22 to 25, about in that range, $1 million in cap space. So from about 255 in overall cap to about 277 to 281. There's a little bit of a variance in which it can rise to. So it's expected to be a jump up of 22 to 25 million in cap. And that's big. Like, if you really think about it, that's an extra George Kittle. George Kittle will have a cap hit of about 20 plus this year. And as we know, he's going to be a guy who's in the conversation for contract negotiations. So it's also in part due to one of the reasons why I'm less concerned about, Brock Purdy's contract. Is one of the things that I have cited is because the cap is going to rise. And the thing with what we're looking at with the current top of market quarterbacks, whether you like it or not, the top of market quarterbacks right now in 2 to 3 years will be mid-level. Once guys re-up, Josh Allen gets an extension, Lamar Jackson gets another extension, Patrick Mahomes gets another extension, there will be a continuous rise in the overall market. And you're also going to get an accelerated cap as well. So the cap is growing. The NFL is only getting bigger. They're in talks about, selling rights to Netflix and now the streaming services. There's a whole brand new stream of revenue. So with how everything is working right now, I really do expect the cap to continue to rise. And so really just less concerned about all the conversations about how these teams won't be able to pay these players and be able to build competitive rosters. The NFL has to do this. They have to keep up with the exploding markets. You look at what happened to the wide receiver market last year. The quarterback market is insane, and I get that. But the NFL has to be able to account for that. You can't just leave teams hanging like the San Francisco 49ers, who have to pay their quarterback around top of market, at least in the bracket of top of market, between 60 and 50 million a year, and still be able to be competitive, because it doesn't do the NFL any good to be able to have a bunch of teams that have high-priced quarterbacks that can't build rosters and competitive rosters around them. It just doesn't make sense for their product. So to me, this is good news. And again, like I said, it should allow for them to be a little bit more creative with how they do things. Again, 22 to 25 million in additional cap space is a pretty solid rise. It's a big jump. Some might even do a little dance about it. Some might be really excited and be flailing their arms around up in the air, because it might mean that the 49ers can sign an additional player. So I like this news. I was anticipating this. And so again, when you think about Brock Purdy's contract, you think about how the cap hit is going to be pushed towards the back of the deal. That's going to be able to coincide with the cap continuing to rise. So people don't think about it from a long-term perspective like that. So again, the 49ers can create a ton of cap space by extending George Kittle. If they take that $20 million cap hit, reduce it significantly, push it out a couple years with his extension. Obviously, they're going to have Javon Hargrave as a post-June 1st cut. They're going to get rid of Debo. They're going to get rid of other players. So the 49ers, they're already at the top of the league in available cap space. So I get it. I get the Debo contract is going to carry its fair share of dead cap hit. It's either going to be 31 next year, or it's going to be 31 spread over 2 years. So you can't really get away from it. But I do expect many things to occur. And again, this is multiple. This is additional players with this budget. This is like, you think of guys who are making 10 million against the cap a year, pretty quality players. So you think of this could be a bunch of depth pieces. This could be a Drew Dahlman at center that fits right into the budget, who maybe might command, maybe a cap hit in the 20s, or at least an average pay per year in the 20s. So that allows you to budget better. That allows you to go after and to be able to get some more high-priced free agents. I'm excited about this. It's hard not to be excited out here in Hawaii, letting the flow go. I mean, what do you think this is? Of course, we're in Hawaii. Of course, the Ginger Lion is out and about on the prowl. And 49ers news. So it impacts the 49ers greatly. And I think it's a good sign, like I said. So I want to see your guys' wish list now. Now that the 49ers have a little bit of money to spend, a little bit more flexibility within the cap, how should the 49ers spend it? Because scared money don't make no money, so you got to go out and spend it. Make sure you're getting continuing to field a competitive roster. And the Super Bowl is in Levi's next year, so it's time to go all in. It's time to push the chips into the center. It's time to go out and build a winner. It's time to go out and build a competitive roster. And what do you think the 49ers need to do to accomplish that? We already, like we talked about, we already know some of the players who aren't going to be here moving forward. But how do we continue to build offensive line, defensive line? Future of Dre Greenlaw is extremely uncertain. Really does sound like Talanoa Hufanga is trending towards walking in free agency. So what are the San Francisco 49ers going to do to get this situation where they are not picking in the top 11 next year, and in fact they are competing for a Super Bowl appearance in their home stadium at Levi's, where the Super Bowl will be played? So like I said, let me see your wish list of free agents that you want to see the San Francisco 49ers sign. Let me see who you think that they could budget into this roster with all the known moves that are likely bound to happen. Do they go for a Justin Simmons at safety to potentially replace Talanoa Hufanga? A lot of questions, a lot of possibilities, and a lot of hope for the season coming up. But like I said, drop it in the chat. I want to hear from you. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.